Today's video is sponsored by me. This is one of the books I've written. It's on Amazon. It's 247 ways to fail your driving test and how to steer clear of them. So there's a link in the description below. So if you want to steer clear of the 247 ways to fail your driving test, get this book. This is a real test route taken in Bayton Road, Coventry, and it's a new test route for 2024. It's March time now, so we're nearly a quarter of the way through the year, and we can see that they're pulling out of the test centre onto Bayton Road, and they're turning left. Always turn left here. Always turn left. Now this test here is of an actual learner with their actual examiner. I've had to mute the conversation between the two because that's the DVSA rules, but here we are on our way. So we can follow the test route around and we can see how the learner has done and see if he's passed or if he's failed. This route here is taken, there's three kind of junctions in it where the examiner has taken him a kind of different way to the way you would normally go. So I know that on tests and most instructors will take you round particular junctions, and I'm no different to that. I always take my learners around certain junctions, but they've gone in three occasions here. They've gone a different way. They've approached these kind of awkward junctions in a different way, and they've taken different kind of exits off of them as well. So it's worth it just for that. That comes a bit later, obviously, but they're following the satnav at the moment, and you'll see the satnav kind of reflected in the screen. So if we can just look past that, nothing we can do about that. At some point, you'll see the examiner tidy that up, and that's when they will have finished doing their independent driving, which is following the sat nav. So there we are. We're coming to the top of Bayton Road, to the traffic lights here, and we're going to be turning left at this point. These lights are on red for a long time. Sometimes, particularly when you're the first car there. So let's see how he gets on. It's a little bit of a hill, so we're hoping that he doesn't roll back at all. Certainly it's at the start of his test. He's very, very nervous, as everybody is, and let's just see. You should be able to tell if he rolls back from the video. The lights should change any second. Here they go. See if he rolls back. He's a little late in starting, but no, there you go. He's started off quite nicely there, didn't roll back at all, controlled that. It's taken the road to the left, and that's brought us into Coventry Road then, which turns into Longford Road later. Down to the next set of traffic lights. This is this lad's second test, so what they say, all best drivers pass second time, don't they? So let's see if he's managed to do that. Again, they're following the sat-nav. The sat-nav is telling them to go down to the roundabout and take this third exit. So that means he should position himself in the right-hand lane as he approaches. And there you go. He's got himself into the right-hand lane, under the bridge, out into the sunshine, and so he's now timing his approach to see if he can keep moving. He's let the white car come through. Two white cars actually have come through there. He didn't actually stop dead, so he's timed that very, very nicely. It's easier, isn't it, if you don't stop dead? If you stop dead, you have to start again. It's a bit more difficult. So if you can keep the car moving, it makes life a little easier. It's the third exit, and he should be taking that off now. He's obviously checked his left mirror as he's indicated, and he's moved off onto the left-hand lane, which is just perfect. And this is Pickard's Way, and it's a 70-mile-an-hour road, isn't it? Because it's a kind of dual carriageway, you know. So it's 70 miles an hour road. It's not quite going quick enough yet for me. There's a van that's overtaking him. And yeah, there you go. He's kind of picking his speed up a bit now. He's kind of matching the speed of the van. He's perhaps realised that he should be going a little quicker. And so he's adjusted his speed. And the satnav is telling them now to take the first exit on this roundabout. And this is the M6 roundabout, isn't it, this? For the A444 and the M6. And the first exit should take him back towards Coventry. Making his way up to the line. This time he has had to stop. You can see why. There was a couple of cars flashing through there. They've obviously now made a space, and away he goes. This road, on the sign it says Jimmy Hill Way. And on the maps, if you look on Google, it says Phoenix Way. So you can make up your own mind about which one that is. I'm going with Jimmy Hill Way, but it says Phoenix on the kind of official maps that you can see. But it is the A444. And one thing to know about going for your test in Coventry at Baton Road is at some point you will always end up somewhere on the A444. And yeah, it's kind of just around the corner from the test centre, isn't it? So it's kind of a bit obvious. So a good bit of advice would be to get to be familiar with this road as much as you possibly can, and work out where you're going to come onto it and where you're going to come off of it as well. And it will give you a little bit of an edge. It will mean that when you do go on there, you'll feel just that little bit more confident about knowing what to do. We're coming down here. The satnav is telling him now to take the second exit, but then stay right. So because he's taken the second exit, and you can see that all of those three, those lanes 1, 2 and 3 all go straight ahead, he's chosen the left lane. And that just means that you will need to change lanes later, because they will need to go out to the one on the right. But it's always good advice, if you have 2 or 3 lanes to choose from, just get yourself in the left-hand lane, because as we come around here, you'll see that it'll be on the left all the way round, and it'll come off of the roundabout as well on the left. And that's just a safe position to be in. Lights have changed, and we're on our way now. And there you go. He's a little slow to move off there. How do you think the examiner will see that? That's twice now. He's been a little slow to move off. For me, it's not a big problem. As long as he catches up with the traffic here, which he's doing already. He's already keeping pace with everybody else. And it's meant that he's got a nice space in front of the car as well, which is always a bonus. And particularly now, it's officially called Jimmy Hill Way by now, by the way. But particularly now, because at some point he'll need to change lanes, and it's always good to have a little space in front of the car when you're doing that. Over we go. That's it. And he's following this lane around and up to the lights now. Now the examiner here, as we come up to these lights, has been quite kind to him. Well, I don't know about quite kind, but she's been kind of, you know, she's not led him into a trap. Let's put it that way. She's made sure that he doesn't get trapped in this lane. And as we move through these lights, she said something along the lines of, just to help with your forward planning, you will need to move over one more lane. And so that's what he'll do, and you'll see him do that in a few seconds. But that's good, isn't it? And again, it's an example, really, and it shows that the examiners are not really there to catch you out, but they're just to see how you drive, and they will help you kind of to the extent that they can. They can't help you, obviously, but they can kind of guide you a little bit, just so as you don't get caught into kind of a dangerous situations. Anyway, we're on a hill here, as we know, just by the arena car park, and Again, he's a little slow to move off there. I'm not calling that a fault, but it's just something that I've noticed, and you know, hopefully that'll right itself later in the test. So she's saying this to him now. She's saying, you know, to help with your forward planning, you will need to move over one lane to the right, and you'll see him do that in a few seconds. And there you go. And we're coming down to the Holbrooks roundabout now, aren't we? You know, we're on the A444. We're coming down to the roundabout. And if you turn right at it, it takes you towards Holbrooks. And that's what the sign just said. And you'll see that written on the road as well. Abbreviated H books there. Abbreviated on the road. But going round to the right. And that's why she asked him to move over to the right. So he's now approaching the roundabout again. He's using this space quite wisely, looking for a space that he can move on to, and this time he's had to stop, and there must be another car coming through here, or a van or something like that. Oh, there you go, a couple of vans, and let's just see. He'll move off when there's a space. There you go, there's his space, and he's moved up. There must have been a blocker. Oh, where did that van come from? Someone's cut in there. That's why you need to look, do your lifesaver look. So that's that extra right mirror look there as you come off a roundabout. Very, very important. And there you go. It happened. So all the time your instructor's been banging on at you to look in that mirror when you're coming off the roundabout. This time it paid bonuses because he was able to let that guy in. Anyway, we've gone straight ahead at this roundabout here, and we're still on Holbrook Way, and we're just making our way down to the next set of roundabouts. Now here is the first time where the examiner's asked him to go a different way, so it's a new test, isn't it? So she's asked him to go in a different way to what you normally go on your lessons, and he's just going to turn right at this roundabout. Whereas most people on their lessons will get you to go kind of left and then right at the second one. And so they've changed that a bit here, as we can see. The satnav has kind of been set to do this. And so he's going to go around this roundabout. Hopefully he'll make that lifesaver look again, and he'll come off there. Now the examiner here is telling him that there used to be a roundabout here, but there's not one anymore. And the satnav is saying to him, go straight ahead at the roundabout. So that cleared up that little bit of confusion from between the satnav and the recent road alterations. Anyway, we're now on Holbrook Lane. We were on Holbrook Way before, now on Holbrook Lane, and we'll be turning into Everton Road soon. And as you know, if you're local to the area, that's somewhere on the left along this road. It's fairly clear. So far, this learner is doing very, very, very well. We've kind of been a little bit slow to move off, but you will expect that on driving tests. He wants to make sure everything is correct, doesn't want to roll back. And so I think the examiner will take that into account. And we're going to be turning left here. So we're on Holbrook Lane, and now we're turning left into Everton Road. And round we go, and you'll know that on Everton Road it's like there's a T-junction halfway through it. So at the top here it's a T-junction, and it looks like it's a different road, but it's not. It's the same. It's still called Everton Road, and we'll be turning right there. Just looking here, it's slowing right down because there's cars parked either side of the junction, and there's a car parked opposite the junction. So he's been very careful not to get too close, making sure there's a big space for him to move out. He has stopped, and that would suggest that there's another. There you go. He's just waiting for that car to come through. He knows he's got to come out really slow here because of these cars being parked there. So that was quite wise. Nothing wrong with that. Quite liked that. You know, a little bit of caution doesn't go amiss, does it? We'll be travelling around here. He's letting this taxi come through. At some point along here, we will be pulling up on the left to do a hill start. So let's just see. It doesn't look much like a hill on the video, but it is one. It is one, and it's quite easy to roll back from here. So they've pulled up there. There you go. And now the examiner, she's going to get him to pull away just when he's ready, and that's what he'll do. So here we are definitely looking to see that there's no hint of a rollback, and let's fingers crossed, everybody. Let's hope there's not. Oh, actually, this might be the emergency stop, actually. I might have got that wrong. It is a hill, so it is a hill start, but I think this also is the emergency stop, or controlled stop, they call it now, don't they? They changed the name of it. Controlled stop's perhaps a bit more apt, but here we are. So they've moved off, and we'll see it come shuddering to a stop in a few seconds. And so he's done a hill start there, first of all, just getting himself out, digging himself out of a hole, and now he's going to do an emergency stop, and we should see the car come to a sudden halt. There it is. The video's gone a bit wonky there, but it's just repeating that little bit. Now for me, she's got him to stop there, right on a crossroads. So I'm not quite sure if that's kind of what you should do. So she's given the the direction to stop, and he's stopped pretty quick. He's done the emergency stop, and now he's moving on. But how close to that crossroads was that? So not too sure. Perhaps you should have made that kind of command now, where it's a bit clearer. Never mind. There you go. It's done, dusted, and we're away. And she said that she won't ask him to do that again. The satnav is now getting him to take the next road on the right, and that's what we'll do. There we go. He's had to cut in there because there's a car parked quite close to the end there, isn't there? This is Charlwood Road, so we've turned right from Everton Road into Charlwood Road there now, and this is a hill. Should have been doing the hill start on this road, maybe. It seems to be quite clear and everything, so it would have been ideal. Never mind, that's it. It's not for me to question them. They've got their methods. He's going to move out now because there's a parked car there. That's it, and he's going to stay out. And or is he? Is he going to slow down? Is he going to let this guy through? Yes, there you go. What a star, that's it. And we didn't even stop dead, so that's brilliant as well. So that's very nice control and timing. Now he's going through this time, and this time they'll be turning left at the end of this road. So we're on Charlwood Road, and we've got to the end of it, and we're turning left onto this new road here. And I'm trying to remember the name. I think it's Beale or something like that road. Let's just see. It will say on the screen. Beak Avenue, not Beale, Beak. Beak Avenue. Okay, and again, there's a car parked in the way. They're going to do they're pulling up to do an angled start here. She said to him, don't worry about the dropped curb. And he's found a nice place to park, and he's going to do an angled start. So that just means pulling away from behind a parked car. Things to remember here is that, you do need to indicate, because you're a bit obscured here, aren't you? It's a busy road as well, so he would indicate anyway. And to remember to look over your right shoulder just before you begin to move. Also, you want to look as far along the line of the parked car as well, because you're looking for anything oncoming. You don't want to be in their way as you kind of maneuver yourself out. And that was actually very, very good. So he's doing well, isn't he? He's doing all right. This is a good test. This is a good test already. We've gone on one junction where perhaps he wasn't expecting it. There's a horrible speed bump along here, and you'll see it come up in a minute. I don't know what they were thinking when this is only a recent thing they've put in. They've only finished doing this road work for about 2 weeks, and they're about to come and readjust this step. It was a step up, and it's still a step up, even though they've kind of graduated the angle out a bit more, and it's a step down. car killer. Hate those speed bumps, hate them. Anyway, we're going to come up to the traffic lights next, and we'll be turning right here. You can see the lights are just going to green, so it's going to move into the centre of the junction very, very slowly. This is brilliant. He's moving very, very slow. He's waiting for the gap. He's waiting for the space, and then he's going to use it. That was very nicely timed. So his timing and his forward planning are absolutely on point, aren't they, so far today? So we're in Beak Avenue. We've turned right at the traffic lights into Burnaby Road. And this road, as you can see, is full of potholes and not a very nice road. They've been along and they've put tarmac in them, in the potholes, but it's had very little effect, to be honest. They've not really done a very good job. Burnaby Road has now become Scotch Hill, or the Scotch Hill, and we're just going to come to the end of this. And as we come to the end of Scotch Hill, it'll be the second time the examiner, or the satnav as it goes, has taken us in a slightly different route to the one has been on tests before. And at this time, it's going to take the third exit. Now, this is the roundabout with the give way lines halfway around it, which is a bit weird in my mind. But there it is, they're there, and we need to be aware of those. So we're taking the third exit towards Kersley. There you go, and as we come around here, there's the first exit. This is the second exit where the give way lines are. And he's just slowing down, paused, and he's moved on, he's seen his space. That's very nice. So that's the second exit. This is going to be the third one, and it's going to take us along this road just by the Premier shop there. And this is Kersley Green Road. It's took me ages. I'm not born and brought up in Coventry, although I've been working over there for a few years now. It took me ages to realise that didn't say Kersley, because that's how stupid I am. It's Kersley Green Road. There you go. It's quite narrow in parts, and these guys are letting us through. And he's kind of, he didn't really slow down much there, did he? Actually, he's kind of going for that a little bit. He's perhaps picked up a couple of minor faults there, because I didn't see much less space, less speed. And actually, we're going to pull in and park now, and we're going to move off again. And that's quite handy, isn't it? Because that cyclist ahead of us might have caused us a few issues, but that's given him time to get away. That's brilliant. And now we can move on again. So this is a hill, by the way, and he is waiting for the road to clear. And again, as every time they get you to pull in and pull off, they're looking to see that you're going to let the road clear before you move off. You move off into a safe space, and just before you move, you'll check over your right shoulder into your blind spot to make sure it's all clear there. And I'm assuming that's what he's done, because it didn't say anything on his his debrief to say that wasn't the case. Anyway, we're coming down the hill now. This garage, this filling station on the left, as we go through these traffic lights, this is on Kersley Green Road, and it's going to turn into Bennett Road South, I think. This is always the cheapest one in the whole town, this one, and it's 141.9 there today. Normally, in other places, it's like 143, 144. So my advice is go there. Oh, and here's the cyclist again. Here's the cyclist, and he's struggling, isn't he, to get up that hill. He wants to get a lower gear, I think. I think that car, did that red car give him enough room? We're pulling in again, and we're going to pull off again. And again, that saved us from the cyclist, doesn't it? This is more of a hill. How many hill starts is he going to do? This is more of a hill, and let's see. We don't want to see any rollback here either. tiny bit there, tiny rollback, but I think he's controlled that quite nicely. It's very steep hill. They'll be turning right here. How do you think the examiner will have seen that? There was definite rollback there, only a tiny bit there. I'm going to say not more than a couple of inches, but yeah. How do you think she would have seen that, the examiner? Do you think she would have marked that down? This time he's holding back here, isn't he? He's given the lorry lots of room, so that's because that must mean that he's looked down the road that he's turning into before he's moved in there, and he's waiting for this second car to come through as well, and that's great. So we've turned into Penny Park Lane, and away we go, and that's very nice again. So that's good awareness, good planning. You know, it's definitely given the lorry room to get through, even though the parked cars were on the opposite side. Obviously, it takes the lorries a long time to stop, doesn't it, and pull off again. So I always think if you can let the lorries through, you know, that's much better, really. That's a much better thing to do. We're coming along this Penny Park Lane, and we know, don't we, as we come into the sunshine again, that somewhere along here the speed limit is going to change, and we'll notice the car from the video here. We'll notice it slow down significantly as he comes to the 20 zone, so that, and over the speed bumps as well, so that, you know, he's stayed within the speed limit here, and he has done, and that's quite nice. These speed bumps are not that brilliant. Just on this crossing, there seems to be a car parked. Oh, he's moved on. Oh, there was someone waiting to turn right, so he's just waiting behind that car. Over the crossing, and up and around, and we can see the speed limit is going to change back here to 30, and that's what it does. Climbing the hill, there's a school on the right. And we're going to turn left at the lights here. We're going to turn left at the traffic lights. Which again are on red. And again, it's a hill. And again, we'll see if there's any rollback. No, that was brilliant. That was absolutely brilliant. That was very, very good. So I don't know why I should keep testing him on these hill starts, because he's quite good at them. So that's good. That's all right. We won't be on this road for very long, Parkville Highway. We won't be on it for very long before he gets to pull in and park again. And this is where he's going to do his parallel park. So just along here, he'll be asked to pull in and park on the left, and then he'll do a parallel park. Parkville Highway is quite a busy road to do this manoeuvre on, actually, quite a busy road. So you'll find there's a lot of stopping and starting where he's moving into the gaps. You know, he's waiting for a gap and then, you know, making a little bit of progress, then having to stop again because there's a car coming along, and then moving again, and then stopping again, and then moving again. So it'll feel a bit, and it'll look a little bit disjointed, but he's doing exactly the right thing, isn't he? If you're, you know, reversing anywhere, you are the hazard, aren't you? So then you have to stop, let everything else go through, and then you can carry on. If they don't want to go through, well, that's them giving you license to move, isn't it? So let's just see how he gets on with this. Spoiler alert, he does it very, very, very well. So there you go, he's just pulling up next to the parked car there. Little Fiesta by the looks of things. Now he's stopped, he's preparing, he's having a good look around, so he's observing, and then when it's clear, he's going to move. So he's following the kind of POM, prepare, observe, move, like ritual, and that car has gone by, and he won't move now until all the cars have gone past, and he can then carry on. So this again looks a little bit disjointed, but it's not. It's exactly what he should be doing. is there you go, and that's why he's waited there. So you could see perhaps in the distance that there was a car coming, so he's just paused for a bit, and he's going to carry on once the road becomes clear. Like I said, Parkville Highway, it is quite a busy road to do this on, so that's another thing, isn't it, to make sure that when you do this, practice this particular manoeuvre, that you do it on busy roads like this where there's a little bit of a challenge apart from just doing the parking. You know, they kind of, the examiners kind of know that you'll know how to, you know, complete whichever method you use, and they know they'll take it for granted that you can actually park the car. So this adds a little bit of an element, doesn't it, to it, and it kind of means then that there's something else to think about. And he's had to stop again now because there you go, there's another car that's coming through. So like I say, you'll see him keep moving and stopping and moving and stopping. Just looking on the screen there, we can see there's a pedestrian as well that's going to walk at the back of the car. So we're hoping that he's spotted that person and that he will wait. Well, yep, there you go, while she's walking at the back of the car. Also, there was a van coming. So which do you think he waited for there? If it was the van, it was quite fortuitous because you can't reverse when there's people walking down the pavement. So he's done his left bit of steering. Now in my method, there's only two bits of steering. As you can steer to the left, and then at a certain point you're going to steer all the way to the right, and that gets you in, and it never fails. So let's just see how he goes. He's obviously waiting again for another car that's coming along, and now he's moving. He's going very slowly down the camber is what he's doing. He's making sure he doesn't miss his turning point, and now he's waiting for this white car coming through. Yeah, he stopped there. Good, well done. The angle doesn't look quite right to me, so I don't think he's going to steer to the right yet. Good advert for the people opposite selling their house though, eh? Anyway, here we go. We're just moving back here. We're now going down the camber, which always tries to take the car away from you, doesn't it? Quite a busy road. How many cars have come through there now? I'm going to say there's been about 8 or 9. There you go. He's now steering into the right, and that's going to bring him right in. Waiting again, it's going to bring him right in, and that is very nicely parked. Look at that. Oh, that'll do, won't it? All day long. All day long that'll do. That's how to park a car. You know, if you're struggling with that, I'll put you in touch with him because he's very good at that, and he's caught onto that very, very well. And now he's going to have to move off again, isn't he? Yeah. Let's just see. And again, he'll wait for the road to clear before he moves, and that will take us along the rest of the test then, once he's done this. One more car to come through. I swear that's at least 15 cars have come past here whilst we've been doing that. And there we go, we're on our way again. And we're still on Parkville Highway, and he's going to need to pick a little bit of speed up here. Oh, no, good, well spotted. Yes, there's a car that's coming. There's two, in actual fact. Well, actually, we know it's a busy road, don't we? So it's very highly likely that he's going to need to wait in certain places. And he's made the decision now to move on, and there we go. Now, the thing about Parkville Highway, if you go in this direction, is you are going to come onto a very, very tight turn, very sharp turn to the left. And just after that turn, is the end of the road. So it's only about, what, 10, 15 yards just after the bend there, or meters just after the bend. And, you know, so there's a sign for it, and there's the chevrons, and it's saying slow on the road. And now he's going to need to start to brake. He's probably still only in second gear at this moment because he's had to stop and start so much. But you come around here and there it is, bang on to the end of the road, and now he's being asked to turn right here. The examiner's taken over, by the way, in terms of doing the directions by now. Satnav has finished her job, and now the examiner has taken over. But here again at the end of Parkville Highway, coming onto another busy road, or busy-ish road, and he's going to turn right there. And it's Nuts Lane, Lane. As we're coming down this road here, and this is coming down the hill, isn't it? And we know at the end of this road there is a give way, and he's going to turn left at the give way here. It's what we call a Y junction. Why? Because it's in the shape of a Y, and he's on the kind of downward bit, and he's needing to look over his right shoulder there, crane his neck right around, just to make sure that it's clear there. And obviously waiting for the cyclist. And now he's just going to move on. So far, this is a pass, isn't it? This is very, very good. He's doing very, very well. This is an easy pass so far. There's one more awkward junction. Went the kind of different way, and let's just see if he can make it home. Let's see if he can make it back. Certainly, this cyclist should give him a kind of way to demonstrate how safe he is, and he's doing that, isn't he? He's hanging back from the cyclist. He's making sure there's room, and then he's moving out. There's hatch lines there. Now, in previous videos, we've had a big controversy over people going over hatch lines. What do you think there? To my mind, it's quite right. It was okay. It was okay to go over those. They don't mean don't cross them. Okay, but anyway, there it is. He's overtaken the cyclist. He's given the cyclist lots and lots and lots of room, and that's exactly what you should do. And now he's just holding back. He's going around this van as well, and that's very nice. There's another couple of cars there over the crossing. No one walking towards that. We're fine, and we'll be turning right soon into St Giles Road. And St Giles Road, you'll see a fence, like a white fence, as you come up to it. Well, it's not white, but it's light in colour. And you'll see that, and that will tell you where St Giles Road is. It's an easy one to miss, actually. It's an easy one to drive past. But as we come around here, can you see the lighter coloured fence? That's where St Giles Road is, and we're going to turn right into that one. And this is a common way that the examiners like to take you, just because there's so much going on this road. It's easy to miss this one. And he's kind of got himself into the little safety lane in the centre there, so he's not taking up too much of the road. He's timing his approach, waiting for the van to come through. He's gone in behind the van. That is very, very, very good. Very, very good. Coming along St Giles Road, just for future reference for you, sometimes they place a camera van, a 30-mile speed camera van along there, just about where these two cars are parked on the right. That's not one today, but we're just going past it. Just look a little bit like one, but it's not, is it? No, absolutely not. Okay, so we're just coming along St Giles Road. And, well, let's see where we are. There's a little bit of there's a van parked on the left, and there's another van coming through. I don't know if you've noticed, but there's a car pulling out as well. There he is. And so our hero is just having to wait for that car. He's holding back. Doesn't want to get too close to the builder's van there. And he's moved himself out. And actually, he's done that quite nicely. Did he get too close to the builder's van that was parked on the left? What do you think? Do you think that's a fault, or do you think that he handled that situation very nicely? Please leave your comments. Always pleased to see them. And when we get to the well, we've got some temporary lights here now, and these temporary lights are going to take us to the end of St Giles Road, and we'll be turning right when we do that. So we turned right from where we turned right onto St Giles Road, and now we're coming to the end of St Giles Road, and we'll be turning right again. And we can't see the lights, can we? Can't see them at all at the moment. So that, well, they must have changed. And we're going to move forward as well now. And hopefully the temporary lights will stay green for us as we go through. They have done, that's fine. And that means, doesn't it, excuse me, that means that it's all going to be clear and we can just carry on. Losing my voice, you know. Anyway. Here we go. We're on Church Lane now, and we can see why the temporary lights were there. There's all kind of roadworks going on. I believe they're putting in a new kind of pavement, a walkway there at the side of that road, and that's why they're doing all of that work. Which is quite a long section, isn't it? That he's keeping his speed at a reasonable rate as he goes past all the parked cars. Church Lane is a 30-mile-an-hour road. It looks like it should be more, but it's not. It is 30. And we'll be turning right soon. And again, if you know your area here, you'll know that this is actually on the way back to Bayton Road. So we're turning right into School Lane. And again, he's just timing his approach. You can see there's a car there, learner car. He's going to go in behind that. And is he going to wait for this one as well? There you go. Perhaps a little bit hesitant. Perhaps he's got a minor fault for that. And now he's going to take himself around there. Into, like I say, School Lane. And School Lane as well is also a 30 zone, isn't it? Even though it looks like it should be more. And this is another place where they very craftily put a speed camera, the ones in the vans, every now and again. As you go over this bridge, you'll see a green area on your left, and it's usually parked there. Well, that's where it is parked on this road normally. So, but not today again, so we're lucky again, they're not there. He's now being asked to put his headlights on when it's safe to, and you'll see something happen here. There, did you see that? That was a late reaction, wasn't it? So what do you think happened there? What do you think happened? And how do you think the examiner will have seen that as well? Excuse me, I just had to have a little bit of a drink there because I was definitely losing my voice. And there we go. So we're on School Lane still. We're coming towards the end of the test. He's got to get around this DHL van, and he's waiting for a space to do that. He's moved himself out quite nicely. And the lights are on green. Oh, there is a van backing out. So what's he going to do? This is brilliant, isn't it? You see it says keep clear on the road. So he's going to keep the keep clear there, isn't he? Letting the van back out, and then he's going to move on. And that means he gets caught by the lights. Well, that's okay, isn't it? He's done exactly the right thing there. That's very, very, very good. So what do you think about this test? Do you think he's passed? Do you think he's failed? If he has failed, where do you think? What do you think he's done really well? Certainly for me, his planning has been on point, definitely. He's kept a nice speed. He's always been a good position on the road, which suggests he's in the correct gear as well, doesn't it? Both of those things. So his planning, awareness, his control of the car have all been on point. Do you think he's made that one serious mistake that's let him down? I'd be really interested to see your comments, and I'll always respond to them. So do please do that. Anyway, we're waiting for these lights to go green. It's going to take us back into Bayton Road. There's still a few moments left. Will he manage to get all the way to the end? Let's see. There's about 300 yards along Bayton Road that you have to go to get to the test centre. But it's always busy, isn't it? There's always lorries pulling out and cars pulling in and things like that. Certainly there's a car waiting there. He's gone through that. That's fine. Not through the car, you understand, but through the space. So that's fine. And looking down the road, it's looking pretty clear today. So no real problems for him. He's looking all right. We're going to get to the end here. And just as we get around this bend, we'll see the blue fence, the blue metal railings for the driving test centre. Let's just make sure there's nothing coming. Yes, that's brilliant. There's nothing coming through there. We're doing absolutely fine there. And then so at some point we'll be turning right into the test centre. So again, there it is. That's a driving test for Coventry. It's in. It's been taken in March in 2024. So it's very, very current. And it's a new route really for this year. It's just waiting for this white car to do whatever they're doing. They seem to be parking. Okay, I'm not quite sure why he's not moving around. There you go. Is he moving? Yep, there we are. Moving in. There's a couple of instructors there having a chat. Back into the test centre. And into the bay, and the examiner's now asking him if he wants his instructor to listen to the debrief. He's going to open his door and he's going to shout, "Sean!" And that's me. So there you go. I'm going to come and listen to the debrief. So hope you enjoyed that video. Hope it was informative for you, and stay tuned. There'll be more on this channel, and throughout the year I'm going to try and do as many of these as possible. Okay, cheers guys.